Yeah, that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to like, work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself.
Retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport.
I don't know. Maybe this could be the reason why Tank said he want to leave boxing. He going to, tap out, stuff like that. He still hasn't fought Devin Haney, and that's not going to.
Gervonta Davis has finally spoken out about his retirement from boxing, saying he's tired of the fame and attention. He explained that no matter what he says, people twist his words and constantly misunderstand him. Davis admitted that he can't truly be himself in the spotlight anymore. He also said boxing doesn't excite him like it used to, and even called it lame now, and that's what pushed him to step away from the sport. The main reason behind Gervonta's retirement seems to be his growing frustration with everything around boxing. According to his team, he's been under a lot of pressure and uncertainty, especially because of a legal case involving the mother of his children. His team said they don't know how the case will play out, but the stress is clearly.
That's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to like, work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad, all around, like human being.
Yeah. Is it the fame? Is it something that you just don't like all the attention? Or
yeah, I'm starting to like shy away from the attention and things like that come with it.
Yeah, because it's like anything you do or say, it's all over the blogs. It's taken the wrong way. It's getting posted.
Yeah.
Like you can't even be yourself at this point.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, it's getting more so like lame.
Getting to him. All of that has added to his frustration and made him feel more distant from the sport. It's likely that all this led him to walk away from the ring for now. As Gervonta officially announced his retirement, fans and analysts reacted quickly. The news picked up attention after Happy Punch tweeted,
I'm sure by now many people have heard about the news that was broken by Rick Glazier, who stated that 5-time world champion, 3-division world champion, undefeated superstar boxer, Gervonta Tank Davis, 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 28 wins by way of knockout. 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 28 wins by way of knockout, has officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going.
Gervonta Davis has reportedly retired from boxing after being fed up with the sport. Tank is retiring. Won't fight again is what he's telling those close to him, via Rick Glazier. A lot of people were surprised by the sudden news, but others think it shows how much pressure he's been under both inside and outside the ring. According to Blue Blood Sports TV, Gervonta may not be done with boxing for good. The analyst thinks Davis is just overwhelmed right now with personal and career problems, and that's likely what led to the retirement talk. One big factor is his lack of interest in a rematch with Lamont Roach. That fight doesn't seem exciting or rewarding enough for him. Instead, Davis reportedly wants a bigger payday, possibly through a fight with Jake Paul on Netflix, rather than sticking with Amazon's promotion. This has led some to believe that the retirement is more of a strategy, something he's done before, even before the first fight with Roach. Still, despite all the opinions and rumors, Gervonta Davis has made it official. He's stepping away from boxing. Whether this is the end of his career or just a break, only time will tell what's really next for the talented fighter.
Gervonta Tank Davis retiring? No. Has he told people this? Yes. But this is nothing new. I told you the Lamont Roach Jr. fight was off. It was going to take place in June. He was not happy with the way things were playing out. He wanted to get to that Jake Paul bag with Netflix. That has nothing to do with Amazon. Jake Paul is in charge in that situation and gonna put that money in Tank Davis's pocket. I told you guys this. But you guys don't believe me. You always love to say I'm capping or hating on Tank Davis. No, just telling you what's going on behind the scenes. Gervonta Tank Davis is not going to retire. He's frustrated. He may step away from the sport of boxing for a while. But again, he was already planning to do that before the Lamont Roach Jr.
Bleacher Report tweeted, Gervonta Tank Davis announces he's retiring from boxing after 2025. Signaling a firm decision from the undefeated fighter, Gervonta Davis has been talking about retirement for over a year now, saying he's tired of everything that comes with the sport. He's mentioned several times that he wants to walk away due to personal struggles and constant pressure. Recently, he made it clear again that he will never think about fighting again because In his own words, he doesn't even feel anger like he used to. Antonio Tava recently shared his thoughts on Gervonta Davis's situation.
Tank Davis is retired? Superstar and legendary knockout artist Tank Davis has officially retired. Or so he claims. Tank Davis has had one of the hardest 18 months in boxing. See, first he just got out of prison. Then he had a fight with Lamont Roach that should have been a pushover, which afterwards he was going to negotiate a huge money fight with Jake Paul. But Lamont Roach had a great game plan and they ended up having a draw. That Lamont Roach probably should have won. It was a controversial no knockdown call. But now Gervonta Davis is once again facing jail time after some domestic abuse charges. So I really think this is temporary. He's probably just retiring for now, especially with all the legal fees this man's gonna need. Part of this is probably to avoid the Lamont Roach rematch and push that off as if he can. But really, most of this is probably so he can focus on his legal issues. And then after all that is wrapped up, he's gonna get back into boxing. Boxers do fake retirements. It's just what they do. Especially after disappointing fights and during legal troubles. Tyson Fury's in the middle of a fake retirement right now. So yeah, what do you guys think?
Expressing concern about the young boxer's path, he pointed out that talent and success in the ring aren't enough without personal growth. Tava talked about how many young fighters today struggle, especially when they don't have strong mentorship. He believes Davis's situation shows a bigger issue in boxing and said it's disappointing to see such setbacks right when a major fight was ahead. Bernard Hopkins also gave his opinion, saying he hopes Davis can move past his legal troubles and start focusing more on his family. He stressed the importance of making peace with the mother of his children. Hopkins encouraged Davis to stay focused and positive.
New York City, man. Always showing love. All right, so Jay Martinez of Fight Hook TV. So happy to see you once again. The biggest talk, let's jump into it. Obviously, we got a good weigh-in here in a moment.
Yes.
We got some good presser after this. The biggest talk that just happened moments ago, Gervonta Davis, jump into it. Kind of, I wouldn't say it's a big shock to a lot of us, but, there's this mindset, the fight with Lamont's not signed yet. Apparently, he's going to fight Jake Paul. Like, it's put in and out of boxing right now.
Hey, man, I don't know, but, get these guys the bag so they can get the hell on if they not committed and dedicated to the sport. All they want is a bag. Give them a bag so they can go, bro. I mean, let these fighters that really want the shit, let's parade them. Let's get behind them. Let's support them. Let's build them. I'm not saying I don't know what happened. But I just hope and pray that young man get it together. He's at the top of his career, prime of his career. I would want him to be remembered more by the things that he's doing in the ring rather than out. But, sometimes you got to win in life too before you can get in that ring and win. And sometimes life is harder than any opponent that we could face. And I just hope he get it together, bro. I feel like a lot of these young men don't have no mentors, bro. It ain't no more handlers in the game, bro. It ain't nobody taking care of the camp. These guys out here on their own frequency, bro. And I just think there's no more leaders in the game, bro. They not going to where that real energy is that can really humble these guys a little bit. We only got a short period of time to be professional boxers. This shit is over.
First of all, good to see you, my man.
Good to see you again. Yes,
good
sir.
to see you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, there's a lot
My
to
second
talk
home, brother.
I'm starting to say the same thing because I'm here
Yes,
almost
you're here
all the time.
In and out, in and out.
Bernard, a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it real quick.
Come on.
I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts,
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. Everybody else come out. I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that, he get that straightened out and he get back to focus on his family and his career. Family first and then career second. But I just wish both his ex-girl, his kid's mother, can get things together and look forward and be positive going forward.
Bernard, you think his head, is there right now with boxing? Do you think he just needs another mentor? What does he need? Because he's a great talent.
I don't know, and I don't know him very well.
YouTube, Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast. 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy, and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is, and wanting to be a softer person, you know, for his daughters, and wanting to seek therapy and become a better person and be with his children and lead the limelight. It seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, you know, because, you know, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, you know, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, you know, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, you know, things get old, you know, your whole life gets scrutinized, no matter what move.
Woman said that, hey, I looked at him and I asked him to help me, and he looked at me and he turned his head, jumped out of the car and ran, or whatever the case may be. So he has a history of doing things like this to women. Like, facts. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a Tank Davis fan or not, you can't get around that. That's the truth. So now what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach fight? And better yet, you know, what's going to happen, will that fight still go on? I don't know. They haven't announced it, made an official announcement yet. We know the fight is scheduled for next month, August, but it hasn't officially been announced yet. And we do know if that fight is announced, PBC will have reporters there to tell those reporters, look, if you want to have access to Gervonta Tank Davis, you better not ask him certain questions. This is what goes on in the media. See, a lot of these guys, they want access to the fighters, so they have to play ball. They have to go along with the get along just so they can get access to interview the fighter. Coach Malachi, I don't give a fuck about the access. Fuck having access to the fighter. I only fuck with those who fuck with me. If you're a fighter who fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. And then, we can do an interview. That's fine. I have no problem with it because I got love for you like that, and vice versa. But if it's a fighter that don't like you or don't like me or whatever the case may be, I don't give a fuck. I don't try to fit in, in square circles. If it's a square circle, you know what I mean? If it's a square in a circle, I don't try to fit in with squares. And if you ain't in the circle, I ain't trying to get in the circle. Do you get what I'm saying? So, of course, these reporters, that's what they're going to do. So now, as it relates to Lamont Roach, what does...
Adding that returning to boxing might help him rebuild his personal and professional life, Gervonta Davis has recently opened up about life beyond the ring. He said he wants to become more grounded and be there for the people closest to him. He admitted that his lifestyle and career have pulled him away from what matters most, his daughter and his family. Davis now wants to shift his focus, showing that he's ready to grow.
And, ridiculed by others, and some people grow tired of it. Living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely, because we've seen this in the past when Mike Tyson talked about his heart no longer being in it. Or, you heard Buddy McGirt recently come out and say, the fire left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens. And, we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, and be the best version of himself. Because, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in a ring in any other capacity. If he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do, for people like myself, I've had a great time, watching his career. I wish him the best in his personal life. He didn't say he's retiring immediately. He just said he's going to fight 3 times in 2025, and then it'll be over. Whoever those 3 fights he chooses to fight, we have to respect it. And I would just say, enjoy him while he's here, because, everybody in sports, whether it's boxing or otherwise, is only going to be active for a certain amount of time. And once it's over, it's over. So instead of, Monday morning quarterbacking, ridiculing or criticizing, I think he's been a very special talent, and we need to enjoy him while he's here, because the end may be really near, according to what he's saying. That's all I have for y'all right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor.
Some more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me, West, though. I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
Shout out to Tank Davis saying that he's going to go to therapy because he wants to soften up for his daughters, and he wants to let go of the anger. And yes, although maybe the anger served him in his boxing career, it's not currently serving him now at the moment being the father. So shout out for Tank Davis. That's a real man. A real man is willing to be gentle in a tough, cruel world, right? It doesn't take much for us to be angry in an angry world. It takes a lot of courage for us to soften up and shine our light, whereas we've been maybe in darkness our whole lives, or maybe our darkness got us to success, right? So like Tank Davis obviously became successful, put in the anger towards boxing, but now he's on this next level of life and stepping into his therapy era, which I love to see. So
according to this, Tank has just gotten bonded out of jail, although the details of his bond have yet to come out. At this point, it seems like every couple years Tank has some sort of similar run-in with the law. His last major run-in came in December of 2022, where he was arrested for allegedly striking a woman with a closed hand type slap, although these charges were later dropped. But I'm not an expert on any of this, and I'm not really here to discuss details of a DV case. I'll let the courts do that. The question I think I can better speculate on is how this will impact his career. Now, his legal troubles in the past haven't done much to slow him down, so will this time be any different? To answer it in a single word, maybe. Now, Gervonta Davis is undeniably one of the biggest names in the sport, and because of the money he generates when he fights, really no matter what he does, it's hard for him not to find opportunity.
Press conference, I think he turned up 4 or 5 hours late. No Calvin Ford, his trainer, no Leonard Ellaby, he turned up by himself. And then he went on to say 2025 will be his last year in the sport. He wants to get therapy, and he feels like he can't get therapy unless he leaves the sport of boxing. He's got young kids, and he wants to be the best father he can for those kids. And if he continues fighting, then the therapy won't work.
Emotionally and improve his relationships. His decision to seek help and be more present in his family's life shows he's starting to understand what's truly important to him at this point in his life. The timing of Tank Davis's retirement seems to be heavily shaped by his recent struggles. Right before what could have been a big rematch against Lamont Roach, Davis got caught up in legal trouble again. After getting released, he announced that he's stepping away from boxing. His repeated talk about being tired of the sport now feels final. After years of pressure and personal battles, Davis seems ready to let it go and find peace outside the ring. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned.